Show me your friend and I will show you your future. While in college, the author of the book we are reading, John Maxwell, had a lecturer, a psychology lecturer in particular, who made a statement that got him so bothered and made him to start thinking. Now, what was that statement? He said that if you find out or if you have one real and true friend in life, you are very fortunate. And having two real or true friends, that's highly unusual. Now, this statement got John Maxwell bothered. Why? As a sanguine, he felt everybody had true friends just like he did. Regardless of the definition the lecturer gave about what true friendship really means. What was that definition? He defined friendship as a relationship comprising of unconditional love. Now, before you go about blaming John Maxwell, he actually read a book as a young boy, and in that book he got to understand that in order to make friends, one must make themselves friendly, and that was his perception about life and relationships. But with this new statement made by his lecturer, he sat down and pondered on that statement, and that made him to come to a decision to become more intentional with his relationships. This pondering led to a new decision, and that decision of his was to initiate and make an investment in relationship with others. Hello everyone, this is the Review With Me podcast, and I'm your host and your walk to reading coach, Mrs. Peace Tamuno. You are welcome. I hope you've been able to catch up on all our previous episodes of the current book we are reading, because we are reading Make Today Count by John Maxwell. And yes, we've been looking at different daily doses, of which today we'll be looking at another daily dosing, which is chapter 9. Chapter 9 is titled Relationships, as you guessed from the story, right? Alright, so if you're ready, please don't forget to hit the like button, share and subscribe, tag someone who you think needs to hear this, and let's find out how we can use relationships to make our day count. Alright, so making the decision to initiate and invest in solid relationships daily. People need to learn how to take responsibility for relationships in their lives. To have a solid relationship that brings fulfillment, one has to change their mindset when dealing with other people. So most times we are willing to put the blame game on other people, and the relationship spoils because he. But we need to learn to take responsibility. If that relationship really matters to you, then you will invest strongly in that relationship, and that is what we're talking about today. How do we invest and initiate and invest in a solid relationship? Number one, place high value on people. Until you care about people, you can't make building a good relationship a priority in your life. So placing value on people first comes from a place of caring for them. So how do we show this care to people? How do we place value on people? Expect the best from everyone. I know this can be very, very difficult because a lot of people are coming from a place of hurt, and that is why psychologists always advise that when you're hurt, instead of holding it in, please reach out to a professional that will aid you through healing from trauma. So we have to learn to expect the best in people. Some people have been hurt before that they are now standing with thorns everywhere. They're just waiting. Somebody just does like this. They're already, even if that's not what the person is planning to do originally. Next one, always assume people's motives are good unless proven otherwise. Now this is another tough one. Somebody is doing something and we're already explaining it in like 77 ways. Before you don't even know if the intention, learn to extend grace to people, learn to give an explanation for people until you hear from them and you find out that truly their motive was actually malicious. Then you can now make a decision and know what to do. But let's learn to always give room to them. Let's not doubt their motives unless proven otherwise. Next one, value them in their best moments. Value them in their best moments. Most people are so good at just criticizing people. They're always good at correcting people. But we never tend to look at the things that people do rightly. I'll talk more on this later. Number two, learn to understand people. One major post in life where most people have a problem with is managerial position. Now, when we look at the word managing means to manage not just the things that are going on in a place, it's also to manage people, to manage customers. And most people that are in that position, in quotes, hardly know how to. In fact, they are the ones that will end up, some of them, some are actually doing well, like in the banking sector now. But there are some places where it's those people that are supposed to manage people and manage customers that end up infuriating people the most. So we have to learn how to manage people. Now note, there are some things here that I want to say about people that we need to take note of, especially for those who are in a managerial position. In fact, it's not just limited to them. Everyone, because one way or the other, we manage people. You manage people in your place of work. If you're a teacher, you manage your pupils. Even if you're a stay-home parent, either mom or dad, you manage your family, you manage your spouse, you manage your children. So one way or the other, you manage a conversation when you go to get something in the mall or in an open market. So everybody needs to understand some things about people. So I'll be taking some things about people. Number one, some people are insecure. So at that point, when you observe that kind of thing, what you need to do for such kind of people is to give them confidence. Another one is people want to feel special. So at that point, you sincerely compliment them. The next one, people desire a better tomorrow. So what they need from you is not to help say that, my dear, that's all life they need hope. Yes, we're not saying that it is you that will make the tomorrow better, but a little hope given to them is not a bad thing. The next one, people need to be understood. Listen to them. Listening is a skill that everybody needs to learn. Sometimes we feel we are listening because we are quiet. That you are quiet doesn't mean you are listening. Somebody can be saying something, you are quiet though, in your mind you are quiet, but actually your brain is trying to just pick one or two words. You are scanning through what the person is saying because you are ready, you are preparing for your reply that will come. Why not just listen? Sometimes they don't even need an advice from you. Sometimes they don't even want words from you. They just need your presence and just your listening ear. People are emotionally low. Encourage them. There are a lot of it, but we need to learn to understand people. We need to learn to understand the way people react. Sometimes somebody may react in a way, you just step on the person and the way the person is reacting, you're like, it's not just because I step on you, but I say sorry. That person is not even reacting to you. It may just be something that triggered a pain that just triggered something else that is wrong with that person. So we need to learn to understand people. I think this should even be a course. Understanding people should be a course that is general for every person that is going into the higher institution to take, not just for psychology students. Okay, so when you understand people, don't take their shortcomings personally. Help them to succeed. I just explained that. When you begin to understand people, you extend grace to people, you make excuses. My aunt used to tell me before I got married, she was like, okay, I said, this person did this, and she's like, learn to make excuses for people. When you're making those excuses for people, you're not making it because of them. You're making it because of yourself. Because if before you know what is happening, you complain about this one, you end up being a pessimistic, angry, unpleasant person to be around because you're always complaining about everything. Right? Regardless of the fact that yes, nobody is perfect. So regardless of the fact that people are not perfect and they will keep hurting you, learn to make excuses for them. It was so funny. One day I said something, she was like, maybe the person is in her menstrual cycle, she's seeing her period, so she might be having cramps and it's making her irritable. And I was looking at her like, she said, yes, you have to learn to make excuses for people. Now, she made that excuse for that lady, and that helped her to assimilate and understand the reaction of that lady towards her. Instead of two people now getting angry all over on the way. So, because she made excuses for that lady, it actually made her to be in a place where she responded to situations and not just reacting. That's emotional intelligence. So, it takes a high level of emotional intelligence for us to actually understand people. Alright, let's go to the next one because we're not talking about emotional intelligence today. The next one, give respect freely. Now here's the code. But expect to earn it from others. So that you are giving respect to people freely does not necessarily mean people will give you back that same respect you're giving. Remember, it is you that is working on yourself, not the next person. It is you that is listening to this podcast right now, not the next person. So you cannot expect the way you are refining and developing yourself to begin to spread out to everybody around you. You can't expect everybody to understand and have a knowledge of what you have a knowledge of. So what do we mean? Respect people. Let your respect be given to anybody, no matter how big or small. Respect people, but know that you must earn their respect. In this particular space, he told a story of a businessman, a well-known businessman, who was at the airport and kept on yelling and shouting at the porter who was carrying his luggage. It was so embarrassing that a lot of people were actually sitting by, a lot of people stood by and were watching. They were wondering why he was yelling at the boy so much. This got the porter so embarrassed that at the end of the day, he sat, our author was observing, and what happened? He asked the porter, he said, I saw the luggage going, this man's luggage going in a different direction. I hope you know this man, that's not where he's going. The porter said, yes, I'm aware. The man is actually on his way to Miami, but his luggage, the porter knowingly sent the man's luggage to somewhere in Africa. Imagine, because you refuse to, you feel, see, the thing about respect is most times we feel that because you are up there and anybody, there's no vocation that should be looked down on. That you are in a white collar job and somebody is a handyman does not mean you should look down. At the end of the day, everybody is working. Sometimes some of those people that are even handymen may have more money than even you that is actually feeling that you're a white collar job and you're up here and all that. Now imagine, he felt he was in a place where he could insult the porter and everything. The porter has shown him how useful he could be. Now he will have to either get new luggage or report to the flight company, and then they'll start trying to trace his luggage. Imagine the hurdles and everything that you have to go through for that particular, for something that could have been avoided by just a little respect. Most people speak to their house helps. They speak to their help generally. They speak to the people that are in their space. They speak to their workers, their employees. They speak to them without any form of respect. There's nowhere where it is written that respect should only come from down upwards. Respect also goes from up downwards. It goes sideways. Respect everybody, including your children. When people speak to their children without respect, now I'm beginning to understand why yelling is not so good. Because when you yell, you're actually not speaking to a person with respect. Respect is very, very important. Every human deserves to be treated with respect because everyone has value. The best way to interact with people is by giving them respect first. Although, as I said, don't expect to get that respect back. You are giving it for your own self. You are building yourself up. You should learn to respect people. It should be a part of you. It should be one of your values. The next one, commit yourself to adding value to others. Now, Pastor Charles Spurgeon said that it is good for one to carve their names on the heart of men than on marble stones. So, how then do we commit ourselves to adding value to people? Number one, you can look for the ability in other people. After you look for the ability, you can help others to develop, help others to discover their abilities. You can help other people to develop their ability. The thing is, mainly just be willing to add value to people without expecting anything in return. Life is not a transaction. Most times people enter into a relationship because they're expecting something in return. Now when we talk about expecting something in return, at first you're thinking, I'm not expecting any good thing, any bad thing, or any this thing. I want to do this, I want to do. No, you can expect something in return, both negative or positive. The question you should be asking yourself, there were lots of questions he gave at this point. It's just that I was trying to summarize the book so it doesn't get so bulky as a podcast. But he gave some questions and said, if your answer to these questions are a lot of yeses, then you need to shift from that person and reevaluate yourself. Why? Let your relationship be pure and void of any ulterior motive, be it good or bad. Some people enter into a relationship with this person because they want this person to help them get to it. It's okay to associate yourself with great minds, but most times people don't enter into a relationship just because they like this thing, they like this person, or they like what they are seeing. There's always an ulterior motive for some people. Okay, so that's that for the decision of investing in a solid relationship. Now, how then do we manage the discipline of doing that? His discipline was to make conscious efforts daily to deposit goodwill in his relationship with other people. And how did he do this? By one, putting others first. Now, I know some people here will have issue with this one, but remember that golden rule. That was what he operated on. Do unto others as you want them to do unto you. Although at some point while in school, I know they came about a statement that said, sometimes doing to others what you want people to do unto you may not really be the way, because some people don't want to be treated treated the way you want to be treated. So that is why we still come back to understanding people. When you understand people, you get to understand what they really need at the moment, and then you give them that which they need. So some people may need a listening ear, some people may need encouragement, some people may need just a word of hope. So it depends. So you do unto people as they want to be treated. With this mindset, one can't really go wrong. Also, let's learn how to smile. I remember when I was growing up, I never used to smile. Sometimes my mom would call me when I was in school and say, "Oh yeah, and start smiling, start smiling." Learn how to smile. When you walk through a crowd, remember people's names. You are a teacher, you don't know the names of your pupils or your students. You are an employer and you don't know the names of your employees. That doesn't show putting others first. Learn to put people first. Showing value to people. Sometimes something as simple as knowing people's names is very, very important. Relate with people on their name basis. Smile at people. Smiling will not kill you. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Sometimes it's just that calling a person's name and so this person knows my name. There's something it does. They say, so this woman that is up there, imagine a person that is a boss in a company and then calling a janitor by the name and saying, how are you, how's your family, how are your kids? I know you have 2 kids. Imagine that janitor, that day you just made his day. So it's not like, this boss is only people that are up there that he knows. He also knows those ones that are here. So let's learn to put others first. Next one, don't carry emotional baggage. Now, a lot of people get hurt in one relationship. Now, when I talk about relationship, I'm not talking about just male and female. I'm talking about friendship generally. So some people get hurt in one relationship, and then because no man is an island on his own, they enter into another relationship and carry the baggage from that relationship there. No, if people hurt you, you deal with it, and then you move on. Stop carrying it. It's not even good for you health-wise. It's not good for you. And even if you're in a relationship with someone and then that person offends you, you call it out. Call that person out immediately. And if you feel like the thing is not worth calling out, it's very little, then you deal with it and move on. You decide, do you want to remain in that relationship or you want to move on? Instead of carrying baggage from one place to the other, it's actually draining. It's health draining. It can't make your day count, because one of the things that will require you making your day count is for you to be healthy. And carrying baggage from one relationship to the other, before you know what is happening, if you're having compression of them, the things, it will be causing a lot of health issues. So let's learn to decompress. Don't carry baggage around. Address hurt, like I said, and move on. And if it's not worth bringing up, then let it go. Move on. Let's learn to move on. Tell yourself, I will move on. All right, the next one. Give time to your most valuable relationship. Now here he took us back to chapter 4, which talked about family. And if you have actually been following, you realize that when we're talking about family, we said family is the most important relationship that a person has, because the applause of the world can never equate to the appreciation and the respect and the love that is given to you in family. What does that mean? Your family deserves the full loaf and not crumbs. Some people actually go to the office and they give everything they have in the office. When by the time they are coming back, they are tired, they are fagged out, they don't have anything left to give to their family. And at that point, they become nags. When the wife is talking or when the husband is talking, please, can't you see that I'm very tired? I've been working all day. I've been doing this. Why can't you just be considerate? When the child is coming, you are coming back home, and then you are the lion of the tribe of your house. Everybody is flying. Pew! This one is entering. That one is flying under the chair, under the bed, because daddy is coming back home. And that is the house that was filled with joy, the house that was filled with laughter and play. As you're coming into the house, your face is strong because you are tired, you've been stressed. We all understand that you've been stressed, but can you please tone it down a little? Reduce the energy that you give to your work. Your family needs it, because in your down moment, it is not the people in the office that will be there for you. Most of those same people that you are giving all your energy to will move to the next place that will provide for them, and they are not being selfish because they have family to take care of. They have a family they need to consider. They have a life to live. So they need to keep earning to take care of their family. So you would not blame them. But at that point, the only people that cannot leave you is your family. And that is why you don't give them crumbs. They deserve your full attention. They deserve your whole energy, because that is the best or the most important relationship in your life. And then finally, for the discipline, we have, serve others gladly. Now, Jesus talking to his disciples, when they asked him, who is the greatest of all? He said, anyone that wants to be great must first learn how to be a servant. And Jesus came to actually teach us how to live life. People should learn to serve. Life is most exciting when lived for others. This was a quote by Helen Keller. Life is most exciting when lived for others. Let's learn to serve cheerfully, make impact. A young man very close to, I lost a young man close to me, and while I was feeling so hot and everything, the Holy Spirit asked me a particular question. What impact has he made? And at that point, it was just beyond the loss. It was now, how would this boy be remembered? This boy is so young. He has not even gotten married. He doesn't have a child. So with time, the only thing is his parents will just remember, I once had a child like this. And they will really remember because of the hurt. So I once had a child like this, and that is the end. But see, at some point, your life on earth will be over, but your impact will keep making waves. Your impact is the legacy that will live on, that people will keep remembering you for. Let's learn to serve others. Service is very important. In fact, life on its own is service. If you're not willing to serve, then your life will be messed up completely. And then finally for today, express love and appreciation. Let's always learn how to verbalize our love to the people we care about, family, friends, even your workers in the office. Appreciate them for doing something well. They did something where you're like, no, learn to appreciate people. At home, learn to say I love you to your children. There are a lot of millennial people that grew up without hearing their parents say I love you. They didn't grow up hearing their parents say I'm proud of you. And when they talk to you, say, but they should know. After all, I provide for them. You provide for them. Who's going to provide for them before? Is it me that will provide for your family? You are the one that will provide for your family. But that does not take the place of verbalizing how much you love your family. Please, the children we are raising now need to hear us tell them. That is one of the things that will make them grow a beautiful self-esteem. Instead of going to look for what is not lost outside, let's learn to verbalize our love to our children, to our family, to our friends. Appreciate them. When they do something good, show them. In this generation, this time, we're so quick to criticize. We're so quick to correct. Hey, you're not doing that thing well. See, you're supposed to do it like this. Now, it's not bad to correct, but the same way we're quick to correct, let's also be quick to show appreciation when somebody does something good, including your children in the house. When they do something good, it's not when they only break the plates, they say, hey, that's how you did this one, that they didn't. When they do something good, look at them and appreciate them for it. You know, my toddler is 2+. And which day I was telling my son, thank you very much. I noticed the way you help mommy clean. We do the cleaning crew together, and then I observed the way you use the toilet on your own now and you flush. And as I was talking, 2 years plus, it's not most of the things I was saying. I am so sure because I know him. He doesn't really understand it. But as I was saying, I love the fact that he was looking at me and he was blushing and smiling. Now imagine you continue doing that kind of thing as a lifestyle. Let's learn to verbalize the love and appreciate people. Now, before I draw a close, we've talked about relationship. One of the most important relationships that every human being needs in their life is a relationship with their maker. God is our creator. He is the one that created us, and He wants us to have a relationship with Him. If you read the book of Genesis, you see how God created Adam. The Bible says He comes down in the cool of the day to fellowship with Him. God wants a relationship with us. And remember, I said at the beginning that the definition of friendship is a relationship with unconditional love, and that was why He sent His Son even when things went south. So if you're listening to this and you know you don't really have a relationship with God, or you've had a relationship with Him before, but you know that right now you're not in a right standing with God, it's not too late. We can start with that. Please just say this prayer after me. Lord Jesus, come into my life. I believe you died to save me. Forgive me of all my sins. Write my name in the book of life. Thank you for saving me. And I'm born again in Jesus' name. Congratulations if you made that prayer. You are now a child of God. I would advise that you find the Bible-believing church and begin to attend. And if you're having a problem with that, that's also an issue. You can reach out to us and we will communicate to you and help you wherever you need help from. Thank you everyone for staying with me. My question to each and every one of you today is, what decision will you be making to make your relationship, to invest in a strong and solid relationship? And what discipline will you be practicing? Thank you for staying with me. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and follow. Invite someone and let's recultivate the reading culture once again in our society. Let's make today count, people. I'll be waiting for you in the next episode. Thank you and God bless.